Zdraveyta to all my Bulgarian readers. Hello, my name is Hелън Фийлдс. I write crime thrillers. My publisher has asked me to say hi. I'm absolutely thrilled to do so. I live in England at the moment, but I travel a lot. I spend a lot of time in Scotland and in America. I spend all my time really these days writing. When I'm not with my three children and my husband, we travel and we spend a lot of time adventuring. The inspiration for my first crime thriller, Perfect Remains, was really my love of Scotland. I knew I wanted to base the story in Edinburgh, and I had been a criminal barrister, a criminal lawyer before. And so I had a really good idea of what it was like working with the police, working with victims, and I found the whole idea of the sort of people who commit crimes. I found that really fascinating, and I wanted to write a story where you spent some time with the serial killer and saw the world through his eyes. So that was the start of it. Luke Kalanak, Ava Tърнър, they really just flew off the page as I started to play with characters. And I wanted to create a detective that no one had written before, who was completely unique. And quite often we see these older characters as detectives. I wanted Luke to be something completely new, completely fresh, and to approach the story in the way that nobody had done before. When I wrote the first book, I had no idea it was going to turn into a series. And I only really started thinking about that when my publisher fortunately gave me a 3-book deal, which meant that when I was getting Perfect Remains in a good shape to publish, I had to start thinking about the next story and the next story. And they, luckily for me, fell in love with those characters and let me carry on with them. And that really is why Luke and Ava were written in such a way that we could continue their story. Perfect Remains, the title seemed obvious to me as I was writing it. It was just the right title. The publishers liked it and then said, look, can we keep the perfect and then can we carry it through? And obviously it's a good way for my readers to keep recognizing my books. So when I wrote Perfect Remains, partly from the perspective of the killer, I did it because it gave us an insight into the brain of the sort of people that most of us never meet, thankfully, in our lives. But that's the scary part. So when I read other detective novels and I read about the procedures and the police station, I enjoy it, but that's not the bit that I really want to get to. What I want to know is what the serial killer is doing, what they're thinking. That's what's scary. And I think what's fascinating about Dr. King in that book for me is that he could be the guy you're sitting next to on the bus. He could be the guy you're next to in the supermarket. You know, he could be walking down the street with you and you wouldn't know because from the outside he looks very normal. That's what's scary. I often get asked if the Perfect series were going to be turned into a TV series or a film, who would I want to play the main characters? And I think for me, I would like the Scottish actress Karen Gillan to play Ava Tърнър, and probably Stanley Webber, who is actually a French actor, very, very good looking, great actor, to play Luke Kalanak. But Superintendent Overbeck, definitely that role's for me. I love her and I hate her and I think she's funny, but I want to play that role. So in terms of what I'm reading at the moment, I'm very much at the end of this, Lessons in Chemistry by Benitorial. When I read, I quite often don't read crime, I read different areas, different genres, so that it doesn't change the way I write my own crime stories. This is about a woman in the 1950s who is a chemist who can't get taken seriously in the scientific community, so she becomes a TV host on a cooking show, and that's how she teaches people chemistry. It's a brilliant book, really well written. I thoroughly recommend it. In terms of the Perfect series, the 7th book doesn't have a title that starts with Perfect because it's very much supposed to be read as a standalone. That's called One for Sorrow, and it's a book that talks about stalking and it talks about the psychology of bombing. So that was a really interesting book to write. We don't know what's going to happen to the Perfect series after that, but I'm currently writing 2 other standalones, so I'm very, very busy, and I'm pleased to say there'll be lots more books. Please do keep reading. Please do find me on social media and let me know what you think. I love that there are readers all over the globe reading my books, and I'd very much like to hear from my Bulgarian readers. Thank you so much.